Good evening and welcome back to latest case analysis series by Law Seco. This is Monica Rahar, and for today's discussion, we've taken up a very recent Supreme Court decision which is dated 13th of October 2020. The name of the case is Anil Bhardwaj versus the Honorable High Court of Madhya Pradesh and others. It's a division bench decision, and the bench consisted of Honorable Justice Ashok Bhushan and Justice M.R. Shah. Now let's proceed and understand the issue of law. So the court was to decide whether mere inclusion of a candidate's name in a selection list gives him or her an indefeasible right of appointment. So essentially, the issue before the law of the law before the court was, if a candidate's name features in a selection list and thereafter it is struck down due to any illegality, irregularity, or ineligibility, then can the candidate claim an absolute right of appointment by virtue of the fact that his name appeared in the list once. So now let's proceed further and understand the brief facts of the matter and also the nuances of the case. So the Madhya Pradesh High Court released recruitment notification for the post of district judge entry level in the cadre of higher judicial services by district recruitment from among the eligible advocates. The appellant before the Supreme Court, he was one of the advocates and he was also an aspirant. He applied for the post and he passed the mains examination and was called for an interview. Now, thereafter, a provisional list of selected candidate was released and the appellant's name was also mentioned in the list. Thereafter, in April 2018, he was communicated of his selection by the legislative department and he was asked to appear before the medical board for health examinations. However, while in the beginning the applicant was making his application or he was filling his form, a disclosure form was to be filled. The applicant in his disclosure form disclosed the fact that an FIR was lodged against him by his wife in the year 2014 under the following sections of the IPC, which are Section 498A, which talks about or provides for cruelty, Section 406, which is criminal breach of trust, and Section 34, which is the acts done by several persons in furtherance of common intention of all. Now, once the candidate was selected, the state did a character verification, which is a routine process, and submitted its report. The report was forwarded to the Administrative Committee, Higher Judicial Services, and Examination cum Selection Committee. The committee, by considering the report submitted by the state, declared the applicant ineligible and his name was deleted from the list. This ineligibility or deletion of his name was owing to the fact that an FIR of the following nature was lodged against the applicant by his wife. And the same, that is, his name was deleted, and the same information, it was mentioned in a gazette notification. So, aggrieved by this deletion of his name, the applicant or the appellant herein, he uh, approached the Madhya Pradesh High Court by virtue of a writ petition, and the writ petition, it challenged the September order of the committee and also the gazette notification. Thereafter, an RTI application was also filed by the appellant, and in the response to the RTI application, an extract of minutes of the joint meeting of the administrative committee, and which is also the examination cum selection and appointment committee, by which proceedings the appellant was considered not eligible for the post. So the extract of this joint meeting was provided to the applicant. Thereafter, in September 2019, that is 1 year after his name was deleted from the list, the applicant or the appellant before the Supreme Court, he was acquitted of all the charges in the criminal case which was pending against him. And owing to this development, the appellant, he made an application before the High Court for amendment of his writ petition. And why was this writ petition he wanted to amend it? Because he wanted to bring the fact of the acquittal order and other events which occurred during the pendency of the writ on record before the High Court. So the High Court gave him permission to withdraw his old writ petition and also to file a fresh writ petition before the High Court. The appellant did that. However, the High Court dismissed the freshly filed writ by its order dated January 6, 2020. Now, aggrieved by this decision, the appellant approached the Supreme Court. Now, let's proceed and understand the case of the appellant. So, the appellant contended at the very outset that the disclosure of the FIR by the applicant, or sorry, the appellant, reflected the fact that he didn't want to hide anything from the High Court, and he wanted to disclose the factum of such an FIR before the High Court. And it was also contended that he was selected on merit. That is, he passed the examination, he cleared the interview, and hence his candidature could not have been cancelled merely on the ground of pendency of a criminal case. Also, it was contended that on his acquittal, the High Court should have reconsidered its earlier order and should have sent the matter back to the Higher Judicial Services and Examination Cum Selection Committee for reconsideration. That is to say, the appellant contended that his case, which was laid down before the High Court in the freshly filed writ petition, it should have been considered by the High Court and he should have been reinstated in the selection process. And further, he contended that no evidence to support that the conduct or antecedents of the applicant were not up to the mark was produced before the court on record. And in order to substantiate his case, the counsel for the appellant, he cited the case of Mohammed Imran versus the state of Maharashtra and others. Now let's proceed and understand the reasoning and decision of the court. So the court identified the fact that before the High Court, the question was whether resolution dated 18th of July 2018 suffered from any error which required judicial review by the High Court in exercise of jurisdiction under Article 226 of the Indian Constitution. And this order that is being talked about here is the order of the committee by which the name of the appellant was struck down from the list. So the Supreme Court came to the conclusion that the High Court order dated 6th of January 2020, by virtue of which the freshly instituted writ petition was dismissed by the High Court. So the Supreme Court came to the conclusion that that order of the High Court, it did not suffer from any error and the High Court did not commit an error. And why did the High Court did not commit an error? Because of the following reasons. So the first being that the decision of the selection and appointment committee, it was based on relevant consideration. And what was the relevant consideration? Which is the lodging of an FIR by the wife of the appellant under the following sections of the IPC. And when the committee declared the appellant unsuitable, the criminal case against the appellant was pending, and its decision was within the very jurisdiction and was also not unsustainable. And therefore, the High Court, the decision of which was based on the resolution of the committee, it is not erroneous, and the fact that subsequently the appellant was acquitted did not furnish sufficient ground for reconsidering the appellant for appointment on the post. Now, next, the Supreme Court identified a question that, having understood that the High Court order was not based on any error because its order was based on a relevant consideration, which is the resolution of the committee, which again itself was based on a relevant consideration, which is the factum of filing an FIR against the appellant. Then the Supreme Court stated that, now having understood this, the question arises is whether, in view of subsequent acquittal, the appellant's case was required to be reconsidered and he was entitled to appointment or not. So, with respect to this question, the Supreme Court made the following observations. First being, the mere inclusion in the selection list did not give an indefeasible right to a candidate, and the employer has the right to refuse appointment to the candidate included in the selection list on any valid ground. So this is an answer to the issue of law. And then the court observed that the persons who occupy judicial service of the state are persons who are expected to have impeccable character and conduct. The mere fact that subsequently, when the person whose candidature has been cancelled has been acquitted, cannot be a ground to turn the clock backward. Then, secondly, the appellant's major submission before the court was that his disqualification was contrary to the guidelines which were issued by the government of Madhya Pradesh for character verification and which are dated June 5, 2003. So essentially, the appellant contended that in June 2005, 2003, on June 5, 2003, the Madhya Pradesh government issued certain guidelines with respect to character verification. And in para 6 of those guidelines, it was mentioned that on acquittal on merit of the case by the court, the candidate whose name was deleted will be eligible for government services. So, citing para 6, the appellant contended that his case was also attracted in this within the ambit of the same para, and he should be reconsidered, or he should be made eligible again for the appointment as a judge. So the Supreme Court noted that the Supreme Court noted that these guidelines, they contemplate that the candidate who has been acquitted on merit by the court will be eligible for government services. And this contemplation, it relates to the time of character verification. Thus, at the time of character verification, if the candidate is found to be acquitted on merits by the court, then the candidate shall be treated to be eligible for government services. Now, here is a difference. So, the court also brought attention to this difference in the case of the appellant and this general proposition of law, which was laid down by the MP government by virtue of its guidelines dated 5th of June 2003. So, the difference was that the above clause, it cannot come to the appellant's rescue who at the time of character verification had not been acquitted. And the guidelines say that whoever at the time of verification of the character is acquitted, he shall be eligible for reappointment. However, in the case of the appellant before the Supreme Court, he was not acquitted at the time of character verification. So the court noted that had the appellant mentioned about his acquittal at the time of character verification, then clause 6 would have been attracted. Therefore, the Supreme Court held that the High Court did not commit any error by its order, and the appellant was not entitled to any relief in the writ petition. At the end of the note, you may find a list of abbreviations which we have used in the note. You can refer to them for a clearer understanding. And what we need to extract from this entire case analysis is that the mere fact that a candidate's name has appeared in the selection list does not give him or her an indefeasible right of appointment, and the employer indeed or in fact has the right to refuse appointment to the candidate included in the selection list on any valid ground. So that's all we have with respect to this case analysis. If you have any question or doubts with respect to the note, kindly mention the same in the comment section, and thank you for being with us.